Okay, so once again, welcome back to the headquarters. I have built something absolutely fucking crazy, and it's actually been quite a help to me recently. Trying to think of the best way to demonstrate this. So let's take this window full screen here. First thing I did, I don't remember if I covered this in the last video or not, but I switched the KVM switch out. So there's no more of that stupid jumpy shit like we had before. I only have two computers here, so focus, you fuck. I only have two computers here, so why not just a 2-port KVM switch? So where did the 4-port KVM switch go that I had here? Well, it went over to the server room. One second. As I was saying, it went over to the server room. And you already know I had the Mac Pro, that's the ESXi hypervisor, and I had the Mac Mini G4 for Macintosh Manager. So why did I need the 4-port over here? Well, I added my 2017 MacBook Pro functioning as another server, and this is what I'm going to demonstrate. But I don't need to be on it right now. I'll switch over to its input. You'll see that I am, if I move the mouse here. Hold on, let me log in. Well, I have the terminal full screen, but if I go about this Mac, you'll see that I am actually running Catalina on this thing. And that in itself is interesting, because I don't have any machines that run anything that new on this network. Input 2 still goes to the Macintosh Manager. Focus, you fuck! Still goes to the Macintosh Manager, which is running Tiger server. And input 1, I know this monitor is dirty as hell. Input 1 still goes to ESXi on the Mac Pro. So, also, I can't get that fucking screen to go to sleep like it used to. But it's cool. I guess I can monitor the voltage coming out of the power socket in the wall, since that's what the APC is showing me right now. Anyway, let me show you what I built using that MacBook and a couple of virtual machines I spun up. You can see on top of the UPS, I have a MacBook dock here, so that the only thing going over to the MacBook is a single USB-C cable carrying Ethernet, sound out, USB control, display port to VGA, and power. And you can see I've actually got this little USB sound adapter plugged into the other USB port, and it's actually just a loop back going right from the output into the input. And why do I do that? Because this MacBook generates voice prompts that need to get sent over the PBX to various destinations. And that's what I'm going to demonstrate. But when those voice prompts are generated, they would be played through the speaker and rely on the MacBook's built-in microphone to pick them up and generate them over, and not generate, but pass them over to the destination on the PBX. So I alleviated having open air in between the whole thing by just creating a loopback adapter, and that seems to work. There's no sound coming out of the server room whenever the system is triggered. So now, sitting back here at my desk, we can go ahead and get out of BearSip. It's still going to run in the background because we're going to Control A and then D to disconnect from that screen session. And I can actually close out a VNC viewer because I'm not going to need to control that MacBook at all. It's going to just sit there and run. Let me get rid of ESXi as well. Just leave that sit there. I will go to Workstation here, and you'll see that I'm actually controlling the virtual machine that I named Monitor 01, and that is right here. DC01 is hiding out here in the corner. I can actually close that out. So I have several screen sessions set up here. So I just ran a screen LS. You see I've got a PBX state, which is integral to all the other ones, and FW watch, AFP watch, FS watch, OD watch, AD watch. So they're all running in the background, and let me jump into, I could jump into AFP watch. So screen, let me zoom out. I just put the phone there. Screen. Help if I actually. God damn it. It would help if I actually clicked on the thing. There we go. Screen. -R for reattach. And we'll do AFP watch. And so you'll see all this here, but if we slow down and read it, there it is again, and just checked again. Start right here. Starting AFP heartbeat probe to MMGR SVR. AFP probe success, AFP healthy, fail count equals 0. Sleeping 15 seconds. There it goes again. So basically with this watcher that I built, this single watcher is watching my Mac Mini G4, which is the Macintosh manager that controls all of the OS 9 machines. And if it fucks up, it's gonna flag it, and this fail count will become, well, I'll show you on one that I could actually make fail. I'm not gonna fuck with AFP right now on the Macintosh manager because I don't want to fuck with OS 9 and its stupid stickiness. So let me actually Control A and then D out of here to detach. And which one can I use? I think if I scroll up here, I've actually got I can put the AD watcher, which is watching Active Directory on DC01. I can put it into test mode, which won't actually fuck up Active Directory, but it'll make the watcher think that Active Directory is fucked. I gotta scroll. There, that's Open Directory. There you go. So that's actually the command right there to do that. I don't want to run it yet because I want you all to see what it looks like normally. So let me actually right now, let me get into PuTTY, and I'm going to go to the monitor server. Accept. So I'm going to have two consoles on the same machine, remoting the same, two instances of the same machine via two different consoles, an actual physical console through VMware, and then an SSH console through PuTTY. If I didn't just fat finger the password. Looks like I got it right. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. That is not the monitor, that is actually the MacBook Pro I hit just now. I believe I need to actually go to 8.1, not 8.2, or actually, is it 8.3? I can't remember all these goddamn static addresses. SYSTE. Let's see if this is it. I know I fat fingered. Oh, I didn't fat finger it. But yeah, okay, we're on monitor 01. We're gonna pull it over here. So I could actually take this back to full screen over here. So right now, when I hit enter, it's going to touch or create the file AD_test mode under monitor state. And that's just going to trip this thing up and make it think that the Active Directory is fucked up. So let's get in here. Let's go reattach ourselves to AD Watch. Okay, so you see sleeping 30 seconds, checking LDAP bind to dc01.internal@corporation.com. AD is healthy, fail count is 0, sleeping 30 seconds. Okay, let's go ahead and throw it into test mode. There we go. So the file's been created, and we're gonna start seeing some shit change here. So it's sleeping 30 seconds, and any second now. AD bind failed. Fail count 1 of 2. Okay, test mode active. Simulating. Oh, so it knows it's test mode. Good. Test mode active. Simulating AD failure. AD bind failed. Fail count 1 of 2. Sleeping 30 seconds. So it's gonna make sure that something's actually fucked before it lets me know that something's fucked. Monitor 01, which is the machine I'm on right now, is going to, oh, here we go.
IT coordinator, please check the application.
101.
Okay, so what happened was monitor 01 detected the failure twice in a row. Threshold is meant, and it also checks to make sure the PBX is up via the PBX state script. So it sends an AD alert, and that actually will go from this virtual machine, monitor 01, to my MacBook, because my MacBook is running Mac OS. This is running Ubuntu, but the MacBook's running Mac OS Catalina, and it will actually use BearSIP on the MacBook to call an extension, which, as you can see, it parked itself. Let me go ahead and acknowledge that. So it said 101, so we will. So I'm connected. It is from Voice AI. Let's mute this so I don't have feedback. It is from Voice AI with 3595, which is my MacBook's extension. So we're just going to press 1 to start the alert, and you'll hear.
Alert. Active Directory authentication is failing. Please check DC01 and directory services.
So that was one of the Apple text-to-speech voices. And that's basically what the MacBook is doing. It is receiving the information from monitor and calling, well, in this instance, it calls an extension. During the day, it'll do park and page like you just heard. During the night, it'll actually ring on the silent line, so it'll just light up and flash. The phones will. It is 10:32 p.m. and that is after night mode has been enabled at 10 p.m. I just have it bypassed so that it would actually page still. And we can go ahead and undo that bypass before I forget. So put that feature code in.
Time activated.
Good. So now it's failed 4 times. And the reason why it hasn't alerted again is because it's in the cooldown threshold, which is 300 seconds. And that's like 5 minutes. And it's only been 146 seconds since the last alert. So if I were to let this go, it will actually send another alert because it is still in test mode. So Active Directory still isn't working. What I can do to show you what it does during the night is we can actually kill the script. So we'll do Control-C, and then we'll just run it again. It's going to... no. I actually do have to wait for that cooldown to expire. So we're at 200 seconds out of 300. So it'll be just another minute. So hold on. All right, it's a 30-second sleeper. There's 25 seconds left on the cooldown period. So after this 30 seconds, it actually should fire another alert. I re-enabled night mode, so instead of having it page, it should just call 3100, which is the silent extension. So we'll see in a couple of seconds here. It should send another alert. There it is. And you see I'm ringing here. Night line. I'm ringing there. I'm ringing over there. So we can pick it up. And we'll hit 1.
Alert. Active Directory authentication is failing. Please check DCO1 and directory services.
Okay, so that's how it does it during the night. Now, let's take it out of test mode. So we will use the same script, except instead of the command touch, we'll just use RM to remove it. And now you'll watch after the 30 seconds sleeper, it's going to try AD again, and it's going to see that it works, and it's going to reset the fail counter to 0. There it is. Checking LDAP bind. AD restored. Fail count is now 0. Sleeping 30 seconds. Okay. So that's pretty fucking cool. It fucking tells me if some shit is about to hit the fan, or if some shit has hit the fan, and exactly what's wrong with it, instead of me having to blindly figure out, oh, why can't I log in? Because Active Directories took a shit on me again. I actually had a monitor set up for the Exchange server, and I've got to reprogram that one, or else it'll be running right now. It actually caused Exchange to freeze and lock up completely. Not just Exchange itself, but the entire OS that Exchange is running on. It caused it to freeze and lock up by constantly checking it. So I think I have a way to get around that, but I have yet to rewrite the script to implement that. But I do have functioning watchers enabled on Active Directory, Open Directory for Apple OS X, the file server on both the AFP and the SMB side. There's a watcher that checks both of those. What else do I have a watcher on? The Macintosh Manager. There's a watcher on that. And I actually have a watcher set up that checks the internet connection, and it also checks pfSense to make sure it's working. And yep, there's pfSense working up there on the Lenovo. So I've got a watcher set up that reaches out and checks to make sure that thing's hunky-dory and not about to blow itself to smithereens. Each of those watchers has its own text that is used for text-to-speech when the alert is sent over if something is, fucked. So I forget exactly how many watchers I have. I had 6. Screen LS, there it is. Okay, PBX state. What PBX state does, you see that's the first one there. That actually is used by all of the other watchers. Because what I don't want to have happen is for if something blows up, and say my PBX server decides to shit out on me, and I can't call anybody, nobody can call me. What I don't want to have happen is if another machine fails, it's going to hit the PBX and not be able to do anything, and then we're going to have errors stacking up. So every single one of the other watchers, first, before it does anything alert-wise, it checks PBX state. And PBX state, what that just says is, hey, PBX is up or PBX is down. It's a 1 or a 0. It's binary, completely. So if it's 1 or up, then it will continue with the alert. If it's 0, it'll actually just log the alert in a log file. So that takes care of a lot of bullshit that would just stack up for no reason. You can see I've got AFP watch, FS watch, FW watch, OD watch, and AD watch. Those are the 5 watchers that are running in the background, and they run 24/7. And if anything were to blow up, I would either get a page over the speaker, as you heard, or I would get a phone call on the nightline if it's at nighttime. And yeah, it's kind of complicated how I have that set up. So we already had the main phone system set to go on night mode. Focus, damn it. Set to go on night mode between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. And I may have been recording a video when you heard the bells ring. Great, I don't have access to Siri. Yeah, I do. Hey Siri, ring night mode on.
Hi.
Hey Siri, ring night mode on. I think I need the Wi-Fi on for that to work. It's gonna fail. Hold on. Hey Siri, ring night mode on. Ring night mode on. Come on. There we go.
Night mode on. The office is now closed.
So that's basically when that bell goes off, all the phone calls from outside get sent to the night line, the silent line. And when the bell rings at 10 o'clock in the morning, it goes back to the main line that rings actually audibly. I had to do the same thing with the watcher system, with the monitor watcher system, because I actually got woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning when Exchange decided to shit itself, and I got a blaring loud PA announcement coming through the speakers throughout the building. It's telling me to check the application on 101. Now, while it did get me up and I was able to temporarily resolve the problem, and as I was laying back down to go to sleep, it blew up again, and so I ended up disabling the Exchange watcher after I figured out that it was actually the watcher that was causing Exchange to crash, and then it would then alert me that it had crashed. So, and that will be fixed at some point in time. But the point of this is that I didn't want to be woke up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or any early time in the morning to deal with some bullshit. Now, I had known that Active Directory was acting up, because I had been up in the middle of the night checking something, and I had seen the phone ring, and I had answered it, and I heard the AD was down. I didn't do anything about it because I wasn't really concerned about it at the time. I wanted to go back to sleep. But then, now when I just got home from work, the first thing I'm hearing, because I got home about 2 hours ago, so it was still day mode technically, and I was hearing the PA announcement telling me to check the application. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot, AD is still down, Active Directory is still fucked up. So I had gone down here and fixed it. So now that's working, and I just wanted to demonstrate the watcher that I built, because I think this is pretty fucking cool. I've got a virtual machine running Ubuntu, scanning all the necessary servers, and I can build watchers for pretty much anything. Like, I can build a watcher that'll tell me theoretically speaking, I could build a watcher that would watch every single one of these computers down here, and if one of them went offline or stopped communicating, it would send an alert. Now, that's fucking pointless to do, but it's doable, is what I'm saying. So yeah, it's an Ubuntu server that watches all the other, or all the important integral servers on the hypervisor, and when it detects an error, it will communicate via SSH with the MacBook over there, and the MacBook will dial my extension, or will dial the parking page with its text to speech, and it will alert me that there's an issue. And I'm not trying to have the MacBook decide night mode or day mode. It's BearSip. The shit's dumb. It's just a simple extension register. So what I have BearSip doing, or this script that controls BearSip, what I have it doing, I have it calling extension 1175. Now extension 1175 is just a forwarder in the PBX. Basically what that does is it goes through time conditions, and if the time condition says day mode, it will actually send it to extension 5711, which is 1175 backwards. But 5711 is the code that goes that makes that IT coordinator message play. So let's see.
IT coordinator, please check the application.
101.
So that's what 5711 does. If it's during night mode, it will literally just send it to 3100. And you see, that's what happened earlier. Hang that up. So yeah. But that is decided upon what time it is, and FreePBX, or the PBX server, makes all those decisions. I don't have the MacBook or BearSip choosing which extension it dials. It dials one extension, and that extension goes to a different destination based on the time of day. So overall, this is a pretty fucking sweet setup. I will put an update out once I get the Exchange Watcher fixed. Because right now, if I was to start the Exchange Watcher, it might run good for an hour or so, but as soon as it keeps sending those watches to Exchange will freeze, and then I'll get an alert that Exchange has crashed, and I'll have to come in here and reboot the Exchange server, and then it'll work for a second until it gets more, until the watcher keeps checking with it, and then it'll freeze and crash again, and it'll be a never-ending loop. Once I get the new script written and implemented, I will definitely be posting an update, because that will be the completeness of this setup that I have running here. Well, I think at this point, there's still other projects I'm working on. I got a lot of shit I'm working on here at Bitech Systems. But yeah, anyhow, I want to thank y'all for watching, and have a great day, y'all. Just stay tuned for more updates.